a snacker, but when 3 p.m. rolls around, something happens and I just really crave something sweet. Usually something chocolatey or something caramelly. And these are perfect because they're both of those things combined together. When I was a kid, I used to love caramel slices. You know how everyone has their favorite? They like peanut butter and jelly, they like wagon wheels, or Twinkies, or whatever it is. My thing was always caramel slices, or as they were called, millionaire shortbread. And my mum used to buy a box of them from Tesco's, and they were like mini bite-sized ones. Bite-sized, but I would literally eat the whole pack. And then obviously feel really sick and really bad because I'd basically just eaten my body weight, if not more, in refined and processed rubbish basically. But these are not that. They are even more delicious, and they just so happen to be wholesome, vegan, raw, gluten-free, dairy-free, all of that stuff. But I promise you, don't let that fool you because they taste damn good. You're gonna love them. The first thing you're gonna need is a blender, which I haven't actually got out. You might be able to do this in a bowl, but I think it's better if you have a blender. As you can see, this is very well loved. This is just like a really basic ninja one. Now, whenever I make a recipe, I always just kind of slightly wing it. So feel absolutely free to mix things up, to try different ingredients, just like taste it and go with your own instincts, because you want to make something that you're gonna love, and my taste might be slightly different to yours. So this is just like a basis for how to make this recipe. But yeah, feel absolutely free to experiment and try different flours, try different sweeteners, whatever you feel like. So I'm gonna go with some almond meal. This is literally just ground almonds. And I'm gonna say, I should probably measure this. Let's grab some cups. Okay, I'm gonna say like roughly half a cup. And then I'm gonna just grab a generous handful of oats. These are just gluten-free oats. If you notice the difference in the quality of filming here, it's because I'm trying to do part of it on my phone so you can see what's actually happening, so I'm aware that this angle is not the greatest. But this kitchen ain't the greatest, so you know. The next thing we're gonna add is some coconut. Ideally desiccated, but I didn't have any, so I've just ground up some coconut chips. And again, I'm just gonna go with roughly a small handful. Then I'm gonna add some coconut oil, just to help moisten it, bind it. And because I live in the UK and it's usually cold, which it is today, hence the jumper, it's quite solid, so I'm just gonna melt it. But if you live in a warmer country, it might already be liquid and you'll just be fine. Now that it's nice and liquidy, I'm just gonna add about a tablespoon. Then about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of maple syrup or whatever sweetener you're using. Basically just the amount that you like, the sweetness that you like. Then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of boiling hot water. I've just boiled the kettle. I think we'll try one and then see how moist it is. Okay, well the blender is clearly struggling. Actually, it does look moist enough. I just think there's not enough. I don't think that amount is going to be enough for our base. So I'm going to go in with some more almond meal, about a handful. Okay, it's definitely nowhere near enough. I halved the recipe thinking I'd have enough. I do not have enough. I'm looking at a third cup of almond meal. Basically, in the beginning, add a whole cup of almond meal and 2 generous handfuls of oats and a tiny bit more maple. It should come together in the bowl. You're looking for a consistency that you can press down and that will be the base of your caramel slice. Now grab yourself some sort of tray or some sort of tin that you can put your caramel slice in. And make sure it's freezer friendly because we are going to put these in the freezer to set. I still don't have enough mixture to do this whole tray, but it's okay because it's only me who's going to eat these. So it's probably a good thing that I don't have a massive amount because I'll eat them all. You want it so they end up with a nice smooth, even layer. And as you can see, it's not very thick because I don't know about you, but I like it when there's a fairly thin base and then lots of gooey caramel and then a decent layer of chocolate. So that's what we're aiming for. Now that we've got the base out of the way, I'm just going to put that to the side. I'm just going to rinse the blender because we're going to need it again. Now on to my favourite part, the caramel layer. You're going to need some dates. To be honest, it doesn't really matter what type of dates you have. I know most people use medjool dates, so if you can get your hands on some of them, then do. But don't worry if you can't, I've just got some de gluten dates. You just want something that's nice and sticky and It's ideal if you soak them in a bit of water to make them even stickier, but these guys are pretty sticky already. Make sure that they're pitted. Do not want the pits, the seeds in them, to get in your mix because you will break your teeth. So just peel them apart and just make sure that there's nothing in them. We're gonna go with a half cup, kind of a generous half cup of dates. Then we're gonna add a quarter cup of hot water. Then I've also got some soaked cashews and almonds. Macadamias would also work really, really well, but I didn't have any of them. So we're just gonna take about a handful. Maca, I love the taste of maca, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a teaspoon. If you're not so keen, half a teaspoon will be fine. To me, it just gives it that perfect caramelly toffee taste. Plus, it's really great for boosting your energy levels and it's high in B vitamins. I'm debating whether to add some nut butter. I think I'm going to mix it first, see how it's going, and then possibly add some. I'm going to go with a pinch of salt. This is Himalayan pink salt because unlike normal table salt, it is not processed, so you get 84 minerals and good nutrients in here rather than just the taste of salt and nothing else. Vanilla. Ideally, I would have some sort of natural vanilla, but there is none near me, so this is just standard supermarket stuff. It's not ideal, but you gotta use what you can get your hands on. Do the best you can. I'm just gonna use the cap of the bottle to measure it. So I reckon that's about a quarter teaspoon. Then I think we're gonna mix this up and see how it's doing. You may have to keep scraping it down, especially if you have a pretty bad blender like I do. Where's my spoon? I think it needs a bit more liquid, so I'm going to add a bit more hot water. And I'm going to go ahead and add some nut butter. Because I'm addicted to nut butter, and you know, why wouldn't you? I'm just going to go with about a tablespoon. I don't want to do too much. Also, because we have a lot of dates and there's also maple syrup in the base, I'm going to add a tiny pinch of cinnamon. I don't really want it to taste like cinnamon, but I just want the benefits of cinnamon because it really helps balance blood sugar levels. I'm going to add a little bit more salt, a little bit more vanilla, a little tiny bit of coconut sugar, just to give me more of a caramelly taste. It's just about a teaspoon. I'm going to get a bit more water just to help my rubbish blender. It's all come together, so we're just going to see how this tastes. The answer is good. I'm going to spread this onto the base. This is dangerous stuff. You could just literally out of the blender. It's definitely made a really lovely thick layer. This is going to need to go in the freezer to make sure that the caramel is nice and set before we go and put the chocolate on top. So I'm going to pop this in the freezer for roughly about 4 hours or just until it's set pretty solidly so that the chocolate's not going to melt into it and it's all going to merge together, which would still taste good, but just for aesthetics and you know, for that nice slicing action, we want it to be nice and fun.
3 hours later.
Now that the base and the caramel layer has had time to set, it's time to make the chocolate. Get yourself a bowl and a spoon. I've just got a spatula. You're going to need some coconut oil, some cacao powder, some sort of sweetener. I've got maple syrup. I'm going to use a tiny pinch of cinnamon, but that's optional. Like I said, I just think it really helps balance blood sugar levels. Also, I love the taste of cinnamon. And I've got some water because I personally prefer to bulk things out with water. It fills me up, it makes a larger amount, but it doesn't add any unnecessary calories. But you can always put extra coconut oil in, or if you have cacao butter, it's completely up to you. I'm going to go with 2 tablespoons of liquid coconut oil. I'm then going to add a quarter cup of cacao powder. If you don't have cacao powder, you can use cocoa powder, but cacao is best because it's higher in antioxidants. Then I'm going to add literally a pinch of cinnamon, about 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. I'm going to mix it and see if it needs water. As you can see, it definitely needs more liquid, but I like to mix it first because the cacao powder often repels the water. So it's just easier to mix in the water after you've already mixed in some cacao powder. I'm just drizzling in a little, mixing, and then seeing if I need more. Now you can see that that's come together and it's made sort of a chocolate sauce, which is exactly what we want. And of course you've got to taste it. I mean, how can chocolate not taste good? If you want to put more sweetener in, you can. But I really like really dark chocolate. As in, I actually eat 100% pure chocolate, like no sweetener at all, and I love it. But I know for a lot of people that would be way too dark, so feel free, as I said, to taper it to your taste buds. We need to put the sauce onto the base and the caramel, which is now nice and solidly set. Oh guys, it's so hard not to eat this, it looks so good. But we need to let the chocolate set, which should only take about half an hour. So get yourself a cup of tea, do a bit of work, and then reward yourself with this baby. Half an hour in the freezer, and I'll see you then. And while you wait, I highly recommend lifting out the bowl. I mean, there's no point wasting ingredients, right? Now that it's set, all we need to do is slice them and eat them. Because it's frozen solid, if it's a little bit stuck, just get a spatula, slip it under, and just lift it up. And the whole thing will just come out, so you don't have to worry about it sticking to the pan or the pot or whatever. That amount of mixture has made 9 delicious slices. So all that's left to do is eat one. That's so good. Look at that deep caramel layer, look at that bite. I would say let them defrost like a little bit. Store them in the fridge because the chocolate is icy cold on my teeth, but it still tastes amazing. Oh, you have to make them. If you enjoyed this video and this recipe, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you know when I post a new video, which is every single week. And now, I'm going to eat my body weight in raw caramel slices.